Perfect. Hello. I think we are live. So thank you so much for joining us here on the NAAEE Conference podcast stage. My name is Jack Baker. I'm the host of Pangolin, the conservation podcast. I'm an environmental educator. I love environmental education. I'm so excited for this conference, and I'm so excited to be launching something new and exciting this year, which is, of course, our podcast stage, where throughout the week we will have some of your favorite environmental education podcasters talking to some of the amazing presenters who are presenting at this year's conference, all about their work, about what they're excited for, about their hopes, what inspires them, all sorts of incredible, amazing things. And I'm so excited because we are kicking off with, and I know this is a risky thing to say to a conference full of environmental educators, one of my favorite, not just environmental educators, but people, CJ Greco. CJ is the teen programs manager at the Lincoln Park Zoo. They are an incredible podcaster, host of the Birdie Bunch podcast. And you may recognize them because last year, CJ was part of the closing panel of keynote speakers who, if you were in the room in Pittsburgh, you will know there was not a dry eye in the house for CJ's presentation because they are incredible and wonderful and amazing. So it feels only right that CJ is here to start off the podcast because you were the closer last year, you're the opener this year.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining me, CJ.
Oh my gosh, of course. So happy to be here. This is so exciting. I love this whole idea of having live podcasting at the conference. It's rad.
Yeah, I think it's going to be really fun. And I think hopefully what my goal and what mine and Carrie, I should say, who might be watching already, our goal was to try and create this space, right? Where on an online conference, you can kind of sometimes lose these moments of real human connection. And so hopefully we'll be able to provide some of that throughout the conference for all of you. And yes, I guess before we get into the conference and the excitement of all of that, I gave you, I think, a very nice introduction there, CG. But do you want to introduce yourself in case people aren't familiar with who you are and your work?
Yeah, for sure. So my name is CJ Greco. I use they and she pronouns. I am a non-binary trans woman. I'm an activist, a naturalist, an educator. Like Jack mentioned, I work at Lincoln Park Zoo in Chicago, Illinois. And I've sort of been doing this for a while. Last year, in 2024, I was recognized with NAAEE as part of their 2024 Environmental Educators 30 Under 30, which is very exciting. Honored to be a part of that amazing group of people. I think some people in the room. Um, and just this is a really exciting time, I think, to be an environmental educator because we're needed now more than ever. So just excited to be here today.
Yes. And I think that's why I think this conference is arriving, as it always does, at a really good time. When we're starting to go into the winter months, we're starting to get a little bit darker outside, a little bit colder, and this is going to give the boost of adrenaline, excitement, hope, inspiration that we all sometimes need at this kind of year where it starts to get a bit wet, a bit swampy outside, especially if I'm in Scotland, so especially wet, especially rainy. I am waiting for a twig to bang against the door at some point while we're talking because it's very windy out there just now. And yes, just for people who don't know, I will introduce as well, CJ. You didn't promote yourself.
No.
So I will say, CJ, you're here at the conference this year with a Bright Spot presentation.
Yes.
You have Fostering Future Conservationists, Mentored Research Experiences for High School Students, which is a Bright Spot which is available right now. It will be if you want to go and watch it. But do you want to tell us a little bit about that and just to tease people to go and watch it maybe?
Yeah, absolutely. So myself as the teen programs manager at Lincoln Park Zoo, as well as Ezra Mulheim, who's one of our teen programs coordinators. We both sort of work to oversee a program called the Malott Family Research Apprenticeship Program. And it's a program exposing high school students to actual scientific research by partnering them with some of our scientists at the zoo. So we're really astounded by the fact that most mentorship programs are for college age and older, right? So we wanted to share the power of mentorship for young people in particular. There's not a ton of science mentorship programs for high schoolers. And I'll say the Malott Family Research Apprenticeship Program just recently in September won the of Zoos and Aquariums award in education for like top honors for education program. So huge, exciting news about that program. Shout out to the entire team, including myself and Ezra and Emma Martell, who's our director, who's overseen that program for many, many years, more than us. So just that program is a real highlight of what we're talking about in that Fostering Future Conservationist session, which I super recommend check out.
The good thing about the bright spots is I think like where we're at right now is most of the presentations or a lot of the live presentations, obviously none of the live presentations have happened yet.
True.
But I was able last night while I was doing my little research, uploading my little photo onto FeedLoop to make sure I was ready for all of the questions and all these things. I was able to find your presentation and watch it last night. And it was really good and it was really nice. And I think what was really nice and I think kind of worked well was like I really liked the fact that like for anyone who's not watched any of the bright spots yet, right, there are these shorter presentations, but what I think you did really well is you encouraged listeners to kind of stop, pause, think throughout as well, which I think was a really nice, really nice touch. And congratulations on the award, like incredible.
So Thank you so much. Yeah, it's a huge honor, and it's a program that has like served tons of teens who have gone on to get like degrees in research and science, and they're doing amazing things. And they start in high school. I started as a zoo teen, right? And now these zoo teens are growing up and doing big things, and it all starts with this really powerful mentorship piece.
I don't know if you've had. I had a shocking revelation recently, which was there is somebody who's currently working with me. So I work part-time for the Royal Zoological Society of Scotland, and I think because of the 30 under 30 program, which I was part of a few years ago, I always like when I've been in work, I've been the young one, right? Whenever there's been young people questions, you get asked.
Yeah.
And now there's a new placement student who's visiting us from a university, and there was a question the other day that was like, "Oh, what music or what I can't remember what it was, but what music, what films, whatever it was, what are young people into?" And they asked the student, and I was sat there and I was like, Oh no, people have come up and are now younger and and successful. They're not just kids in our classes anymore. They're doing things, which is so amazing.
It's
but
incredible,
also makes me feel so old.
I know, I'm not even 30 yet, and I feel just like an ancient reptile. Just, oh, yes, I know all your knowledge that you're gonna get someday.
It's not. It's amazing because it's what we want, but at the same time, yeah. Oh gosh,
That's why we do it, right? It's why for me it's a huge deal to like. I was a teen who was impacted by like adults in the conservation field making a difference, teaching me about what it was to be an environmentalist, and now I'm doing the same, right? To me, that's so important to like be the change you want to see, right?
Yes, and what an inspirational person those children have to look up to, CJ. Yes. Well, before we just go back and forward on complimenting each other, and obviously go and watch the bright spot because it's a really wonderful thing. Of course, right at the outset of the conference, we're sat right at the precipice of exciting, amazing things. I wondered, and I wanted to ask you, what are you excited about? What are you looking forward to? What are the things that are, hyping you up this week? What are you excited for?
Yeah, I think for me, this conference, I mean, to reflect a little bit, last year this conference came at a really important time. It was like the week of the election here in the United States. So super important time for a bunch of environmental educators to come together and feel some feelings.
Yeah.
And I think this year, especially here in Chicago, we're experiencing a lot. And, it is, for me, a really important time to be with community, whatever that means for you. And, I'll be fully honest and transparent that, like, it's been tough right now. We're doing what we can. We're making it through, but it's hard. And the way that we're doing it is through finding our community, coming together, sharing our resources, pooling our energy. And that is a big part of what's happening at the NAAEE conference this year. Virtual or not, we are still here together. We're connecting. We're, feeling our feelings together once more. And I think it's the power of community that's really going to pull us through whatever we have to get through. So that is a really important thing for me. conference specific stuff, other than just like this general sense of community,
Hmm.
I've just been looking at some of the sessions and I am just blown away by some of the really cool things that are just on the docket to look forward to. I
Hmm.
was really looking forward to like this podcasting stuff. I gotta be honest, I've taken a bit of a break from podcasting in my life because the world has become too stressful. So being able to
Hmm.
like do this is bringing me joy once again.
Hmm.
And that's really, really pleasurable as well. So podcasting, community, and just all of the fun sessions. I'm really excited about some of the plenaries and the keynotes.
Hmm.
So just so much good stuff.
Hmm. Hmm. I think you've given me so many things there that I like. The wonderful thing, the, the wonderful thing about this thing, right? And these podcasts are, I'm going to get to talk to amazing people,
Yeah,
but I only have 25 to
that's
30 minutes
it.
to do it in.
That's
So it's
it.
this moment of like, oh my God, like I just want to ask everything about everything and all these things. But I think, yeah, to talk about the podcast, right? I think just briefly, I think that's the exciting thing for one of the exciting things for me as well. Is just
Yeah,
getting this chance to connect and share stories. And I think almost like, especially with things like the bright spots, right? Give
yeah,
time and give like, because I know for myself, when you record those like
yeah,
presentations to yourself,
yeah.
it's like, oh, what's going on? Why are we doing this? Like,
Right.
what's going? I don't know. Whereas this hopefully will provide a little space for a little more
Yeah,
dialogue for those people doing that. And then I think you're right. Hopefully through that, and we'll start to see maybe a little community. Hopefully, little people tuning in during the breaks and things. And yeah, I think yeah, it should be really exciting. And yeah, it brings us all back to that idea of community. I think
yeah.
yeah,
I think one
yeah.
thing too that's been really special is that like I got to do like work on this bright spot. Like last year, I was one of
Hmm.
the closing plenary session panel people, and that
Hmm.
was like blew me away in terms of like people seeing me and perceiving me. Wow. But like just being a little virtual bright spot this year was really kind of all I wanted to be. Was just I'm not even the main person in the bright spot. Like I said,
Hmm.
I worked with one of the coordinators on my team, Ezra Molheim, and they were handling most of just the what are we going to talk about? How am I going to organize
Hmm.
it? And I just helped kind of them see through that and helped
Hmm.
present it all,
Hmm.
because he's the main one working with that program and he sees them all summer.
Hmm.
And I'm so glad I got to like support my team in kind of growth of presenting at a conference. It's kind of a cool thing to say that you present at a conference. So that
Hmm.
was also a nice warm spot for me, was to help promote my team doing really awesome work.
Hmm. Hmm. And is Ezra attending as well, or were they
Yes,
just
Ezra is
recording?
attending the conference as well. I don't know
Amazing.
what he's going to be up to this week. He usually works
Hmm.
on Saturdays, so I don't know if he's on today, but he'll be out. He'll be here virtually the rest of the week, so he's
Yeah,
on.
and amazing. And shout out to hello Ezra if you're watching. Like
Yeah,
I
truly.
loved your bright spot too. If you're not here to take credit for it, but I will full props to you if you're
Yeah,
watching. It's really
absolutely. Huge,
fantastic.
huge props to Ezra. Shout out to the entire Lincoln Park Zoo Teen Programs team. I
Hmm.
feel like we work really hard to create those safe spaces for young people to learn, to explore, to be curious, and to just, that is a safe space for whomever you are and whatever you feel,
Hmm.
in all of our programs. So I think it's hard working with young people right now because they have so many questions that we don't have the
Hmm.
answers to, but
Hmm.
it's also really rewarding to work with young people right now.
Hmm. I think that leads actually really nicely into this kind of topic that you kind of suggested that we talk about, and I think is a really important one, and I think a really nice one to kind of have at the start, right? Is this idea like that we can find hope and we can find motivation and we
Yeah.
can find these things together in
Yeah.
community as part of, as this environmental education movement. And I
Hmm.
wonder like this is a big question to start the conference with, but how do you begin as in yourself? And there's probably no textbook we can follow.
Yeah.
There's no answers that are perfect, but how do you begin to find that hope and curate these spaces in your life and in your
Yeah.
work, CJ?
Yeah. I in my like closing plenary last year, I was able to talk a lot about my journey as a trans person in America right now and how it was there were obstacles to overcome in myself and the world, and as a queer person who is still figuring things out as an adult, right? It
Hmm.
is really tough to be alive in a world that doesn't want to see you be alive. So I do my best to be honest and transparent with everything. You saw that last year. It's who I am. I have no reason to like put up falsehoods or lie. And I'm the same way with teens. I think if we're honest and transparent with what's going on and how we're feeling and what we're doing, they're going to respond in turn, right? They're going to do the exact same thing.
Hmm.
And, it mirroring the behavior is a really, really powerful tool for people figuring out how to do anything. Teens
Hmm.
are just figuring it out. And
Hmm.
sometimes they're going to lash out, sometimes they're going to have strong feelings, sometimes they're going to disagree, and that's okay because they're figuring things out just like
Hmm.
we are. And as long as we're being transparent and open and understanding and compassionate,
Hmm.
empathy is a huge part of what we do as environmental educators, right? I don't know how you can work in this field and not be empathetic.
Hmm.
So, using that empathy with young people, using that empathy with each other, and using that empathy internally, being empathetic for yourself, right? Right
Hmm.
now, it's hard to do anything and acknowledge it. Acknowledge how hard things are. Acknowledge that it's
Hmm.
hard to get out of bed some days. Acknowledge that it's hard to do your work because the field is falling apart sometimes. But
Hmm.
we do it because there's a reason to do it. And
Yeah.
we give ourselves grace when we need to.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Like, yes. And I just, before I agree with you profusely about everything you said, I want to take a moment and say that, and I don't know the exact way to say this that won't come across like patronizingly,
Yeah.
like but like I know that the world may feel like it doesn't
Oh,
want you to
for
exist, but
sure.
this
I wouldn't be
world,
here.
and I want, and I know
Yeah.
the community of environmental educators,
Yeah.
and like the projects we've worked on before, the podcasts
Yeah.
we've recorded before,
Yeah.
all of the people who've listened to those, all of the
Yeah.
people who watched you in the room last year, all of the
Yeah.
people who are listening to this now and will listen to
Yeah.
this going forward in the recorded version, I am sure
Oh,
all want you
most
to exist
certainly.
in this
I am
world.
so
Yes.
confident in this too because of
Yeah.
like if I say this all the time, if I wasn't supposed to keep doing this, then I
Hmm.
like it I would have stopped, right? This
Hmm.
is what I'm like I'm who I am is I might not be the most positive person all the time, but I want to be,
Yeah.
right? I want
Yeah.
to be a place where people can come to and feel joyful. That's who I want to be. I might not be that person 24/7, and you can't be,
Yeah.
but I want to be joyful all the time. And finding that joy is a big part of working as an environmental educator. Nobody works in this
Hmm.
field because they think they're going to get rich, right? You work in this
No.
field because it like you're empathetic, because it brings you joy, because you feel that your words, your stories can make a difference, and they do to
Hmm.
young people, to old people, to everybody.
Hmm.
That's why we
Hmm.
do it.
Yeah. And yeah, yes. And I think it comes back to those moments of having empathy and having those
Yeah.
moments of rest for yourself.
Yeah.
I think is something that is almost more important sometimes to keep us going because
Yep.
like there are moments where like I look back on things in the last year or in the last whatever of my career and go like I was burning myself out because I didn't think I was doing enough, so I did more and more and more. And had I just stopped and gone, Jack, you recorded a podcast that 100,000 however many people listen to,
Yeah.
or Jack, you presented at this thing and it was
Yeah.
enough.
Yeah.
And you can take a day, and there's a day where like news stories, like I know, so I'm presenting at the conference later in the week. I have a
Yes.
presentation on Wednesday morning
Already booked
about
in my calendar.
amazing. I can't wait to see you there. It's because it is about my Pride Month podcast series, and I the other day when I was writing it, I was like, this is really like I'm really loving this, and I'm really loving producing it, but it touches on so many themes that are so
Yeah.
personal even that it's
Yeah.
like you become emotionally exhausted by
You have
something
to.
that you're like I shouldn't
Yeah.
be, I should just do. And I think that having that
Yeah.
moment to go, I need to sit down, I need to
Yeah.
watch some rubbish TV, I need to watch The Traitors, I need to watch whatever it is that's on, I need to just take a second and
Yeah.
like yeah, just breathe.
Yeah.
Like that's what I need to do. And I think a huge agree from me on that point.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yay.
Yeah. Oh, I can't believe how quickly this time is flying
I
by. We have
kind of knew
already
that
been
would
on.
happen, Jack. You and me. I feel like the last time we talked for almost 2 hours.
Oh yeah.
We do
Hmm.
this on the regular.
Yep. It's wonderful, but it's a problem
Yeah.
for us. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I should shamelessly promote that we have recorded several podcasts in the
We
past. So
have.
if you look up Pangolin, the conservation podcast, if you want more of CJ, or the Birdie Bunch podcast where CJ is hosting all of the episodes, even if you're not doing it all the time now, they're there. People can go and listen to the back catalog, you know? Amazing. I guess like I have a couple questions that I'm going to ask just
Bring it
to
on.
wrap up before
Bring
we
it on.
do. Is there anything else you wanted to say on any of the topics I've raised though before we move on to those closing couple questions?
Yeah, I think the last thing is just a general overall like you're
Hmm.
at the conference this week, you're here listening to this live podcast session. That's so great. I feel like I if I wasn't in one of the bright spots, I certainly would have forgotten about the bright spots. Go back and
Hmm.
watch them. I've gone through
Hmm.
some of them already. They're fantastic. Not just my own and
Hmm.
Ezra's, but like so many are just really really good stuff. They're
Yeah.
10 minutes. They're like little YouTube videos. You can just put them on in the background. They're so good. So
Hmm.
go watch those. Stick around for the rest of this week and keep watching these live podcasts. Oh,
Yes. Okay. Like I love that. And I love the sharing of the love. Go and
yeah.
watch CJ's first and
Well,
then watch
I'm not
others,
gonna,
obviously.
know.
No, no, there are, and I think that's the thing is like obviously there's only so many slots in a day for like live streamed presentations.
Yeah.
So the back catalog there is
It's
like
so
stuff you could
good. There's
spend.
so many good ones.
Yeah, it's like you know that way where like there's the main things to go and see, and then there's like it's like I feel like there's like the deep cuts where you're like it's like
Yeah.
on your favorite albums. There's always like the big ones that everyone loves. There's the big ones that people stream all the time, and then there's the deep cuts that are kind of you have to go a little, you have to go and
Yeah.
watch and make sure you make time for because they're also amazing and incredible and some of the best stuff you're going to hear. Like go and find the deep cuts because they're
Right.
just amazing.
Right.
Okay. Well, then that moves us on to the final couple questions I
Let's
was
do
going
it.
to ask just to wrap up.
Yeah.
And the first of them, of course, so for people who don't know, I'm the host of Pangolin, the conservation podcast. And Pangolin is a celebration of all of the world's underappreciated species, stories, plant, animal, whatever it is. We celebrate it all. And so the question I'm going to ask all of my guests this week and put them on the spot for is the question I ask everyone on my show, which is
Yeah.
CJ, if you could shine a spotlight on one of the world's underappreciated, misunderstood creatures, what would you pick this
Oh
week and
man. See,
why?
the thing is, I've been asked this question twice already, and
Yeah, you have.
it's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard. Um, I'm trying to think, just like
Mm.
in my life, like what have I been like looking at or observing recently? Um, do. This is
This is the
hard,
problem with
man.
live. We can't edit this out. You have to think
Oh
fast.
man.
I know.
I think I've just been taking the moment. It's I don't know what I don't I have, I'm assuming you're in the northern hemisphere. You have fall in Scotland, I assume.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's so fall here. Like we have like tons of sugar maples in the neighborhood I live in. There's tons of ginkgo
Mhm.
trees in the neighborhood I live in, and like the leaves are like falling and they're changing color, and it's just that is like the thing. I
Mm.
freaking love fall. So
Yeah.
trees. I don't know enough about trees, but go look at some pretty trees.
Yeah.
That's my thing. Trees.
I agree that fall is because everybody is like, oh, I love summer, I love Christmas, I love
See,
winter,
I
I love
was
these
born
things.
in summer, and Christmas is my favorite holiday, but something about fall is just
It's
peak.
the transitional seasons.
Yeah,
Fall
hey,
and
I'm
spring
all
are
about
the.
transition. I'm all about it.
CJ, I love you so much. Like I,
Thanks, Jack. Thank you.
yeah, is yes, that is exactly yeah. That's it. That's
That's
the
it.
ending
And that's
message.
it.
That's
And that's
no,
it.
but I fully agree because yeah, here in Edinburgh, everyone wants to come to Scotland during the Fringe Festival in the summer or these
Yeah.
moments. Don't come. It's horribly busy. There are too many people. I mean,
Wild.
it's amazing. It's amazing, and the art is incredible. The plays and stuff are amazing. But if you want to see Scotland when it's quiet and at its peak beauty, now is the
Well,
time because it is the
okay.
same. It's like the
See,
that
I will say
transition
20
of.
minutes ago you described it as miserable outside, so I don't.
I mean, I love it. Do all
Yeah,
of
no,
my friends
and me too, for
know?
real, for real. Yeah.
Yeah, I like. I think I sometimes forget though because I'm like, isn't it great? And then all of my friends who have
Yeah.
moved here for their PhDs or whatever from California
Right. Oh
or
yeah. Well,
wherever,
California
like,
is
and they're
perfect
like,
weather every
no,
day, so it
yeah,
makes sense.
yeah, and they're like, no, no.
Yeah.
Um, oh, perfect. Okay, and then the last question, just to wrap up, of course, is we've promoted your bright spot.
Yes.
But if people want to connect with you, talk to you, follow your
Yeah.
work, where else
Yeah.
can they look? Where else should they go to make sure that they don't miss out on anything?
For
CJ or
sure.
Lincoln Park Zoo or
Yeah,
whatever you
for
want to
sure.
promote.
I'm always gonna plug what the work that's happening at Lincoln Park Zoo. We have such
Hmm.
amazing research that's happening. Our animal care is the best. We're winning all of these AZA awards for all of the advocacy we're doing around the Captive Primate Safety Act. Obviously, all of our education programs are stellar. I can't plug those enough. Um, but I think the thing I think I just want to plug is just like your local whatever it is. If it's a
Hmm.
community center, if it's for me, it's Lincoln Park Zoo. It's in my neighborhood, so it is like go to your local thing and support that, right? Whatever that
Hmm.
is for you. Think local. Your local
Hmm.
actions make global change. Um, your little act of kindness or goodness can spread and do such wonders. So
Hmm.
my plug is just do small good thing, support your local community organizations doing good work,
Hmm.
and keep being great.
Love it. I think so. I think, yep. And I think
I will say,
100%
I will say,
correct.
you can find me on social media.
Yeah. Where can they find you,
Yeah,
CJ?
you can find me on social media. My Instagram is at cj.greco. That's cj.jreco. But realistically, I was being very genuine. I was joking a little bit at the end there, but I was being very genuine. It's just
Hmm.
right now is a time when we need to come together with our community to,
Hmm.
find what we need, whether that's shelter, whether that's joy, whether that is just presence of other humans.
Hmm.
Um, so find that and ask for what you need. Right now, we need to be very clear on what we need because it's a
Hmm.
lot. So ask for what you need, support your local community organizations, and follow me on Instagram. Wink.
No, I couldn't agree more, and I'm so glad that you were the first guest to come and do this with us.
Yay!
And throughout the week, CJ will be back. I think you're hosting one
Later
conversation
this afternoon.
later this afternoon, which will be incredible. So make sure and tune in for that at
Yeah.
1 p.m., I
Yeah,
believe.
1 Eastern. Yep.
One Eastern time. Yes, make sure to tune in throughout the week. So just to wrap up quickly,
Yes.
this stage will be here all week long. So at 9, 10, 15, 1, and 7 p.m. Eastern time, there will be somebody here, whether it be myself or somebody else, talking to an incredible guest, someone who's presenting at the conference. So please make sure, tell everyone else who you know who's attending the conference to come and watch. Please come and tell your friends if they miss it. These are all going to be uploaded to YouTube, so you can watch it there as well. And yeah, if you want to follow or learn more about my work, you can find at Pangolin Podcast on any social media or at the only Jack Baker on Instagram or Pangolin the Conservation Podcast everywhere. We're all over the place. And so, yes, thank you so much for joining us. The next session will start in around 15 minutes' time. So stick around if you're interested. And until then, thank you so much for listening. Enjoy your conference and goodbye.
Catch you next time.
Bye.